I know Thanksgiving isn't until November, but I gotta tell you, there hasn't been much of a horror flick around this here holiday season, except for maybe, well, Blood Rage. But I recently saw something even more bloodier in Thanksgiving, which was recently in theaters a few months ago last year, and it's now streaming on Netflix. A little early, kind of odd, but still worth it though. But is this recent hit horror film a bloody good gore fest for this little holiday season of Thanksgiving? Or is this one just one bad turkey? Find out in this spoiler free review right now. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So, greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Dual, better known to as the Big D, and this time around I bring to you a spoiler-free review of the 2023 slasher flick Thanksgiving, released by TriStar and directed by Eli Roth, written by Jeff Rendell, based on a story by the pair who produced with Roger Birnbaum. It's based on Roth's fictitious trailer of the same name from Grindhouse from 2007. It is the third feature-length adaptation of a fictitious Grindhouse trailer after Robert Rodriguez's Machete in 2010 and Jason Eisner's Hobo with a Shotgun, which came out the following year in 2011. The film stars Patrick Dempsey, Addison Rae, Milo Manheim, Jalen Thomas Brooks, Nell Verlaque, Rick Hoffman, and Gina Gershon, and follows a small Massachusetts town that is terrorized by a killer in a John Carver mask around the Thanksgiving holiday. The film came out last November on the 17th, just a week before Thanksgiving. And let me tell you, it did pretty well and what have you, and got good reviews and what have you. Anyway, I'll give you just a little bit of the beginning, but this is spoiler free, but this is just the beginning. During Thanksgiving in Plymouth, Massachusetts, an unruly mob gathers outside the local Right Mart superstore in preparation for a Black Friday sale. Jessica Wright, whose father Thomas owns the store, lets her, along with her boyfriend Bobby and friends Evan, Gabby, Scuba, and Yulia, inside early through a side door. The crowd sees them and, riled up, stampedes into the store in a frenzy, resulting in multiple people dying gruesomely, including Amanda Collins, wife of store manager Mitch. Bobby gets his arm broken in the riot and moves away, ghosting the group. 1 year later, Reinmart is preparing for another Black Friday sale. Despite the protests of Mitch and other residents, Bobby returns to Plymouth, much to the chagrin of Jessica's current boyfriend, Ryan. A waitress named Lizzie is killed by a figure wearing a John Carver mask. Lizzie was present at the Black Friday incident, which leads the police to those involved in the massacre are being targeted. So that's all I'm going to tell you about this story. Now, the kill with Lizzie was pretty gruesome and what have you. Now, I watched this film twice on Netflix. I watched it when it premiered, and then a little over a week later, I watched it again. So this way, I would be prepared to do this review. Now, from what I've seen of Thanksgiving, I'm going to say this was probably the most gruesomest, bloodiest horror flick I have seen in some time and what have you. And I've seen lots of others. Now, Terrifier 2 was the last, probably the last gruesome film of a gore fest that I've seen in a horror film. This one comes right up there. I mean, now I'm familiar with Eli Roth's work. I haven't really seen much of his work except for Cabin Fever and Hostel, as well as its sequel, Hostel Part Two. Now I know he's actually done The Green Inferno. I've heard of it, and also he even directed Knock Knock, which let me see here, which starred Keanu Reeves. Never saw, but I've heard of it though, as well as the remake of Death Wish from 2018. And he even directed his well, the fantasy comedy flick, his first non-R-rated film, The House Without a Clock in Its Walls, which has become his highest grossing film to this day. Anywho, I think Roth's direction for this film was absolutely incredible and what have you. Now, I have seen the Grindhouse films that came out in 2007, which were, those films were Planet Terror and, oh, what was the other film again? Oh, yeah, Planet Terror. Yeah, Planet Terror and Death Proof. That's what it was. Oops. Yeah, I'm going to say those films were pretty gruesome, even though they were more action themed than what have you. I definitely need to give those films a rewatch, and mind you, I might review those sometime down the road. Now, upon its release, it actually did well in the US and Canada, and it was modest overseas. The film went on to make $46 million worldwide against its $15 million budget. So apparently, it did well and what have you, despite it went up against films like Trolls Band Together and The Hunger Games, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. But at least it did better than Next Goal Wins, which that's a film I have yet to see. I have seen the latter two I mentioned. The film currently sits at 84% on Rotten Tomatoes, saying combining belly busting humor with delightfully over the top gore, the film is a feast for Grindhouse fans. I agree, and what have you. Yeah, it does have a lot of odd, humorous moments and what have you, but it didn't bother me much. I managed to remain neutral and what have you with that stuff. Thank you very much. Although unfortunately, Cinema Score gave it a B minus, but well, it's okay. Variety said the film follows the rules of the slasher genre, but it's got a more charged and entertainingly hyperbolic atmosphere than these movies used to have. Reviewer Frank Scheck said, well, in his positive review, saying, there are times you can feel the film straining too mightily for a cult status it's not likely to achieve, but it seems a safe bet the film will be tried out like a turkey on cable channels and streaming services for many Thanksgivings to come. One reviewer for San Francisco Chronicle was not impressed, saying it could have been a great horror movie. Instead, it's one of those where if you've seen the trailer, you've seen the film. Well, that's understandable and why have you. I never could believe this would actually get turned into an actual movie. So, apparently, I've actually liked it. It does have over the top humor. That's just kind of an issue. But as I've said, I remain neutral throughout the film and what have you. It was the bloody, gory kills that really were shocking and what have you. So, I mean, ooh, that's gotta hurt, my friends. Now, I'll say this: since despite I failed to have such a Thanksgiving live stream last year by trying to watch Blood Rage and failed, I think if that film does not show up, then maybe, mind you, I might do a live stream later on this year with Thanksgiving. I bet y'all would like that. I bet. Because after all, this film just now came to Netflix last month, so it'll be on there for a few months and what have you. So I think, mind you, you might just get a live stream. After its release, Roth announced on his Instagram page that a sequel had been greenlit for a release next year, or in 2025. So I'm hoping for the best. This sequel turns out to be pretty good and what have you. So anyway, yeah, I think it was very good and what have you. Now for our cast, we have Patrick Dempsey who played Sheriff Eric Newland, who is pretty, who did pretty good and what have you. Nell Verlaque played Jessica. Addison Rae played Gabby. Jalen Thomas Brooks plays Bobby. Milo Manheim played Ryan. Tommaso Sinelli played Evan. Gabriel Davenport played Scuba, and Jenna Warren played Yulia. Plus, there's lots of other actors. Um, let's see. And Gina Gershon played Amanda Collins. So anyway, I am gonna say Thanksgiving is definitely a real gore fest. I mean, while I know that the film Thanksgiving, which I know I didn't care for, did have over the top humor in my, but this beats it. But as much as I liked Blood Rage in my view, I know that was a good Thanksgiving film. But as much as I hate to say this, please don't shoot me. But this film outbeats it in the kills and what have you. But don't worry, it don't have much some stuff that I liked that in Blood Rage though. You know what I'm saying? Okay, enough said about it. So overall, Thanksgiving's very good. The film's currently available on DVD and Blu-ray and 4K from Sony Pictures Home Entertainment, and the film's currently available to stream on Netflix. So check it out if you haven't. But I gotta give it credit. Thanksgiving has a good direction, some pretty good characters, crazy humor, but very good bloody kills and what have you. Oh yeah, and another thing, the score done by Brandon Roberts wasn't too bad either. So overall, I think Thanksgiving's a pretty good slasher. I hope for the best that they'll do well with the sequel next year. So anyway, for my score, I'm gonna give Thanksgiving 4 stars. On a scale of 1 to 10, I give it an 8.5. So what did you think of Thanksgiving? Let me know in the comment section below. If you liked the video, click the like button, subscribe, and be a part of the Big D Nation. And join me next time when I bring to you a review, the first of a few anniversary reviews, and I'll be talking about Cruel Intentions. So if you like this, check out my reviews of these other films and what have you. In the upper left hand corner is my review of Blood Rage. The upper right hand corner is my review of Hobo with a Shotgun. Yes, I actually did review that. Or if you would like maybe something else that was bloody and what have you, go to the bottom left hand corner and see my review of Terrifier 2, which was spoiler free as well. And the bottom right hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. Thank you for watching. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya.